Hello, is my stream start? Let me check because YouTube is not doing good. Wait. Yeah, I guess it started. So, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I will be just doing a live stream where I basically make a Discord bot dashboard with Flask and Award, and also I'm gonna show you how to integrate it with your Discord.py bot. Now, ever since I made my last like Discord bot dashboard stream, a lot of people have been asking for a part 2, so well, you asked for it and you got it. So in this video, not only I'll be showing how to make a bot dashboard, but I will also be showing how you can make it interact with your bot. Now, I'll be using a lot of my code from the previous stream, so if you don't have the code, you could just like go and watch the previous stream and then just like get the code from the stream. Oh, I made a typo there. So yeah, this is like the code from my last stream, and I'm going to be showing you how you can interact and make it interact with the bot. Wait, give me 1 second, let me hop onto Discord really quickly. Wait. Okay, I'm just like making sure like Discord's calm because my Discord server is kinda yeah, it's actually active. Oh, also, if you guys didn't join my Discord server, well, the link will be in the description after the stream ends, and so you can join my server. And if you want to like interact with me or like get help with code or like have any suggestions or requests, you can join my Discord server. Also, I'm not sure if the quality is okay. Shit, the quality is bad. Stream quality is bad. Might have to close Discord, because whenever I start Discord, the stream quality just drops. Buffering. I see. Let me stop this stream really quickly. Wait. Yeah, I guess the quality is doing a bit better. My internet's trash, so you can't judge. I have to check something really quickly. Okay, wait. The quality is dropping. Yep. Okay, so we can get started. So the first thing that I'll be doing is making a bot and making it interact with a database. So the thing that I will be doing is, first of all, like, think of it as a leveling system. So for example, your bot has a leveling system and you want to disable or enable leveling. So you could disable and enable leveling through a command, but I also want the bot user to be able to enable or disable it through a bot dashboard. So let me actually make a really simple bot first. I'm gonna name this bot.py, and I'm just going to make a simple bot. And if you don't know how to make a Discord bot using discord.py, you can check out my discord.py tutorial series. I explain how to make a bot there, and it's really simple. So let's make a bot equals to commands.bot, and the command prefix is going to be this, I guess, double. Okay, so now once we have this, it's saying 0, it's saying no data. The hell? Oh hey, what's up, AC Gamer and Topsy Boy? Okay, so we got a single bot, and let's make a bot event. So bot.event, and then async def on ready, and then I'm just gonna print bot is ready. And now let's make a simple command: add bot.command async def leveling, and I'm just gonna make ctx going to be commands.context, and then I'm going to do await ctx.send test command. And now I could just do bot.run, and in the config file we have a token. So this is just an example config. I'm not going to be showing my bot's token in the stream, so this is just a config. So bot token, and I'm just going to import this. So from config import bot token, and I'm just going to run it with bot token. Nice. So now we could just go and run the bot, and let me clear this. So python 3 bot.py, and let's see what's happening. So it says bot is ready. Let me go to the Discord developer portal and invite the bot to my server. Okay, so I'm gonna give it administrator. Oh, that's 2. I'm gonna do bot administrator. I'm gonna invite my bot to the server. So it's test bot. I'm gonna go to this server, administration, and I am human. I'm not sure why it's saying this. I'm gonna run Discord, and let's see what happens. So what's my current? Okay, Discord's taking a while to start, and we could just okay, so we could, let me go to my Discord server really quickly. Not this, I added it to the wrong server. Oh, damn it. Okay, so let me add this to my server first. And now it should be here. Okay, so I have my bot, and now if I run this, sorry, it's leveling, it should say something like test command. Yep, so it is working over here. And now we could actually connect this to a database. Now for connecting it to a database, I would like to use something called a tortoise ORM, which is basically like an ORM, object relational mapping, for a database. And I want to use something like SQLite. So for this, I would just go and make a models.py, and then just do something like from tortoise.models import models. Model. Okay. Wow, Visual Studio Code, you're doing real nice. And then from tortoise import field. And now let me make a guild config class, guild config. This inherits from model, and then id is equal to fields fields.int field, and this is going to be a primary key. Sorry if I'm going too fast. I'm just like getting some boilerplate code and stuff like set up, basically just creating some database models. And then guild id, so this is going to be the server id, it's going to be fields.bigint field. And yep, now we also, yeah, and now we have leveling is equals to field.boolean field. Is there a boolean field over here? Let me actually check the reference. Fields, I'm not sure if we have a boolean field over here. I'm actually checking the documentation. Data fields, and we have begin binary. Yeah, we have boolean field. So we have something like this, and then what I'm gonna be doing is just making, yeah, we have the model, and now we could just start working on the init function. So let me actually import the models, and instead of like doing so models is going to be yep, so we could do from tortoise from tortoise import tortoise. This is the tortoise class, and then we could make an init function, or we could just do something like await tortoise.init, and then db URL is going to be SQLite db.sqlite3. Now let me actually make a file called db.sqlite3. It should be our database. And then for the modules, we would do something like so this would be our models. So models, and this is going to be models. And then we would just do tortoise.generate schemas. And now if we stop the button and run it, it should generate a schema. So tortoise has no attribute in it. Interesting. So this should have worked. This is tortoise. Am I using the wrong version of tortoise? Oh, I actually installed the wrong one. Let me do something like yep, let me do sudo pip3 uninstall tortoise. Yep, now let me do sudo pip3 install tortoise orm. Now this should install the tortoise orm for me, and it also install AIO, SQLite and stuff. Now let me run the bot, and it should run now. Yep, and it says bot is ready. So now what we could do is, like, whenever the bot starts, we could make a new config. So we could make something like, give me a second, I'm actually trying to check something. Oh, sorry, I'm not actually checking the chat. I apologize for that. Okay, so my stream is not really doing good. Let me do something really quickly. Okay, so a lot of people seem to be complaining about the, what you call it, they seem to be complaining about the stream quality, and I apologize about that. My internet's like really trash. So anyways, when the bot gets ready, I want to actually create a guild config for yeah, I wanted to create a config for this server. So what I will be doing is basically just making a new config, and this is going to be models dot let's do from models import guild config. So it's going to be guild config, and then it's going to be guild ID. It's going to be this guild's ID, and then the leveling will be true because I wanted to enable leveling by default. And then we could do await new config.save. Now this will be run only once because I want to make it like, I want to save the config only once over here. So let's save the config, and once it's saved, the config should be working. So leveling, oh, I messed up the spelling. It's leveling. Yep, and it is working. So that means our configs are done. I can just remove this over here. And now I wanted to actually show whether leveling is enabled or disabled. Now for that, I would basically do something like just make a database query. So I would do query equal to await models dot no, not models. I would just do like a guild config dot get dot fetch or none, I guess, models dot filter, and then the guild ID will be ctx dot guild dot id dot fetch or none. It should be like get or none. Yep. Now this should give me the leveling data, and once I have this, I could just like get the. Also, this should return me a guild config. It should have all the properties, and now I could just do await ctx.send and make an f string. So I would just say leveling is enabled or disabled. So I would just write an inline statement enabled. So this would print enabled if query dot leveling, else it would say disabled. And now dot, and let's start the bot now. So I'm gonna print bot is ready. Now we could test it out. So we could do leveling, and it should say leveling is enabled. That's nice. So now we could make a command which would do something like bot.command, which would disable the leveling. Okay, so I would do async def disable leveling, and then ctx is going to be command.context. My chat's going nuts. Guys, please stop this. My chat is literally going nuts over here. Sorry if I'm not like responding to the chat. Basically, like, this is an issue with like doing live stream about like programming. You're mainly like focused on teaching the thing that you're teaching, but then you don't actually like focus on the chat. So anyways, I apologize about that, and in this command I'm going to try and disable leveling. So for this I would be testing something like a I'm actually like reading the documentation. So I'm gonna first of all query something like this. So I would do something like a await guild config dot dot filter, and then I would and then the guild ID would be ctx dot guild dot id, and then I would just update it. Now the update and then leveling would be false. So basically it will disable leveling, and now I would do ctx dot send leveling has been disabled. Now we can make a same thing for enabling it. So we do something like a enable leveling, and then leveling is going to be true. Leveling has been enabled. So we're just basically making a simple database system for the bot, and now we could just type this bot is ready, and now I could just check leveling. Leveling is enabled. I could disable leveling. Disable leveling. This disables leveling, so now I could check if it's enabled or not. I could run it, and you see this is now saying leveling is disabled. Now I could enable leveling, and now I could check if it is enabled or not, and now it says leveling is enabled. So this is basically how the database system works. Now what I would do is basically make a Flask application. So you would be able to enable or disable the leveling through a web dashboard. So this is basically what most bot web dashboards do. The bot web dashboards basically allow the user or the server admin to change the bot's configuration for that specific server. So we have the Discord bot, it is running. So now I could go to app.py and we could run the Flask server. Let me actually let me open a terminal over here really quickly. Open terminal. We have another terminal here, and then I could just do python 3 app.py. This should be running the Flask app, and it should be good to go. So for OAuth 2, we need to add this localhost/OAuth/Discord. Was this in my config.example.py? Yep, it should be localhost 5000. So basically I'm making a redirect over here, and then my config is, yep, so I can just add this. Nice. So now I could just go to Firefox and then just see this. Wait, okay, so I could just go to localhost, and this was my old bot dashboard. So I could go to just log in with Discord OAuth 2. I'd go over here, unknown application. Unknown application. What was my bot's ID? I copy my bot's ID, see if it's the same or not. So I would just do client ID it's saying invalid redirect URI. So OAuth/Discord. Why is it saying invalid URI? I have to, oh, okay, so I forgot to save it. And now it should be giving me this. So if I authorize it, it should be redirecting me to the localhost thing. Yeah, and now this would show, welcome to the bot dashboard. Okay, what am I doing over here? No. So it should be showing this, and here are the servers which you can access. But now I want to make this look better. So for this, I would do something like this. So over here in the changes 2, I would just go for some bootstrap styling. So bootstrap 4, and this is bootstrap 5, I guess. Yep. So I'll just go to bootstrap documentation and make a class, because I forgot how to make cards in bootstrap 5. So I would just go to I'll go to docs, and then I could go to components, cards, and boom, I can make a really simple looking card over here. So I could just like take this, and then I would just do something like this over here. And if I save this, if I save this over here and refresh, this is what it's showing me. It's showing me like some cards over here. So this is like really nice. Let me actually remove the OL tags because I don't need them. And I'm not really good at front-end development, so please don't judge me for that. So I'm just basically making it let me enable dark reader. Okay, now your eyes are gonna burn out, developers. Now if I refresh it, it should look like this. So let me actually add a line break over here between each one of them. So now if I refresh, it should look something like this. So let me actually do something like a div.container, and then inside this I could do this and refresh. Yep, this is looking good. So let me do br. I'm like just doing some basic front-end stuff over here. Okay, I'm basically doing some front-end stuff over here, and should work. Okay, so I think I forgot to save it. Yes, so one thing I need to do is basically print mutual guilds. So mutual guilds, then get mutual guilds would basically yeah, now if I go over here, it should print the guild data. So this is the icon. Now I want to display the icon images over here. So for that, I would basically do something like I'll just get the icons over here. So for the dashboard, I would just make a grid system. So I'll just do layout, grid, and then make a really simple column system over here. So this is basically what I'm going to be doing, a column system. maybe something like this. I'm just making a bootstrap, but before I do that, I need to actually access the image. So the image would be src, or do images, yeah, this src. And now this is where it gets a bit complicated. You see, in the Discord document, so you got like Discord CDN. So basically Discord has like documentation for their images. So you got like image data over here, message formatting, image formatting. So these are like the base URLs. So cdn.discordapp.com. I have this over here, and then you get the ID of, what do you call it, like server. So for icons or like guild icon, I could just do icon guild ID and then guild icon.png. So I could do something like this, icons, and this is where this comes in handy. So you got the ID. Oh, sorry, I just stopped that. So you got the ID. I could do something like a guild ID. So this is just ginger2 text, and then I could do something like a guild. And what do you have here? Icon. Yep, we have guild icon. Now we could go to the bot dashboard, and if you refresh, this would basically show you an image. But you see, in some cases you don't have the icon because my Discord server over here doesn't have an icon. This is like a default weird looking icon over here. You see, like for the other guild we don't have an icon. So for this we would do something like a, for this we would do something different. So we could just get a default Discord icon. So we would just copy an image from here. Okay, so we would just like copy image location, and then we could put an if statement. So if guild icon, so if the icon exists, we would use this. Else we would just use image src, and then we would have this, and then we could just do end if. So this is, and if you still don't understand what I'm doing, this is basically what I'm doing over here. So if the icon doesn't exist, if Discord says that the icon is none, it would basically print this default image, which is nice. And I could just add some styling here. So for the styling, I would just do width is going to be 50px. Same goes over here, 50 pixels. And then I could just do this. You see, this is like really, really nice. So got the image, and then we also got this. And I could just do something like a border radius 50%. Like, I can't be bothered to make a new CSS file, so I'm just gonna do the styling over here. I know this is bad. This is not like good programming practice, but I'm still gonna do it. And then we could just add an extra space over here. So and nbsp. And it's just some spacing over here. So this is basically how you would do it. But I would also do add some default styling over here. So style. And I would just do body background color. I'm just gonna change the background color to maybe gray, and then I'll just change the color over here. How about this? Oh dude. This is not, what? VS Code, you are not working for some, the hell? Okay, VS Code, you are not working for some reason. Now I could just do color white. Now if I refresh this, it should say something like this. Now I can change these, a card, and then I would do dot card background color. Yeah, same thing, but I still like to make it more consistent. Why not? Then I could just copy this and make this a little bit more dark. Only Visual Studio Code will let me do this. And yeah, this is basically how you do it. And then I could just go to .car a. So this is gonna be a text decoration none, and then color white. Now if I refresh this shouldn't like show these over here. So the A tags would have something like a h2. So they would be like h2 elements. Now if I refresh this, it's being h2. And never mind that, I can increase the font size. So font size 20px. Now I got to like make it look really good. So this is basically how Discord bot dashboards are made. So I got like both of these over here, and I forgot to add like a line break over here. So it's basically gonna be really like just 2 line breaks. It's not the most efficient, still does the job. I'm not the best front-end developer, I'm saying it multiple times. And I would also implement a size over here. So size equals to 64. That's what they have over here. Yeah, and now this should load a bit faster. Just do a dev.container. It'll just be a basic container over here. Yep, and this is basically how you are supposed to do it. So this is just a really simple bot dashboard page. Now you could just click on any of the links. If you click this would just redirect you to the guild. Okay, let me just check the stream really quickly. I hope the stream quality is doing fine. Let me guys, just give me a moment. Give me one. Okay, so this is actually doing good. I'm glad. So this is basically what we have over here. Now you can just go to this page. I'm actually make this page look a bit better. Because did I actually log out? So we have the login page. Now let's make a logout page. So at app.route logout /logout def logout, and I'm going to just do session.clear, and then return redirect slash. Now let me do /logout, redirected me back here /guild. Still has this. It's because oh yeah, sorry, I have to like do this. I forgot that you have to like get the user session really quickly. Yeah, this should redirect me over here right now. It was a bit insecure, so like basically people could just access this. Yeah, and then you just authorize yourself, and now you'd get redirected to this. You could just go to the Discord server, and then boom, you got this. Let me make this page look a bit better. For the background color, we have this, so we could just do some styling over here. For the index.html, we have style. Now we could put this, and then we could put this on a div.container. Bootstrap containers are like really awesome over here. So you have this, and then the color should be something like a button outline. How many button styles does Bootstrap have? Let me check quickly. So in the components, we got buttons, and then you got secondary light. So we would just do button light over here. Button, okay, VS Code light with the bot dashboard, and this is what you're getting. That is nice. Now I could just make a line break over here. Okay. Yep. And now we could just do from here I could just remove this over here, and let me just make it h1 over here, guilds, and then I could just do in the index I could just go and do something like div 1. I'm gonna make this a container as well, container, and then h1, welcome to the bot dashboard. Let me make this look a bit better. Bot dashboard. Now if we save this, it should be over here. I don't think we should like make this one containerized in here. It won't like look aligned. Look would like it wouldn't look really well. And then I could just do something like a style text align center. Basically just align the text to the center. Yep, and now we got this. So we could just click login. And we could go to the Discord Logout page. This is saying unknown application. Give me a moment, guys. So unknown application. Why is it saying that? Because of the stupid config. I messed up the config really badly. The URL, client ID in the config is okay. Discord, I can just copy the this over here. So Control Shift F. Yes. Yes. I see what's being done wrong here. We do need to do a client ID. So you see, this is where I messed this up. Yeah. So basically, it has like this client ID. So if we change it in the config, it won't appear here. So for this, I would just do a client ID, and then in the app.py, I could just do client ID equals to client ID. And now if I refresh this over here, this should redirect me to the proper application. And then once I'm done here, so over here, I need to check one thing. If the token is in the session, I could just do return redirect slash guilds, or do use like slash dashboard. Let's do slash dashboard. So we can just go to here and just, yeah, so basically if I have logged in, okay, so if I have logged in here, it will just redirect me to here. But if I log out, it just puts me over here. I log in, and then it will just redirect me to the dashboard here. So today I promised myself that I would at least try to write some good CSS code. Okay, I would try my best to write some good CSS code. So I have this, and now just like go over here, so I could just click this. It would take me to the guild config. So right now I have like this guild config. Yep, and this is basically what it will do here. So I would just go to the dashboard over here. Let's go to the guild file. Okay, so if guild icon, I would do something like this. Now if I save this, so basically I just added that code where it would just check the server icon. If the icon exists, it would just use it, but if it doesn't, it would just like use this weird Discord icon that I found on the internet. Now let's make a config for this server. I mean, like for this server, we would basically do something like some basic styling first. So style, and then I can just go and copy my body styling over here. Fresh. Body is looking nice. I don't have bootstrap over here. Gotta link that, because if I don't, it won't look good. So I would do something like a bot dashboard, and then just do something like a guild name. Basically, like add the data over here. add the data, dashboard index.html, dashboard guilds, and then this would be server name. So if I refresh it, we just like show this, and I got all of this stuff over here. Now let's make a really good looking configuration first. First, what I want to do is just go and make it containerized. So I might have to rewrite the whole thing. So let me just put this in a container over here. So div.container, and it's in a container now. So I would first make sure that the text over here is aligned properly. I could do something like a div, put this over here, and then do style text align line center. And now I could just do configure. Let's not do configuration. Dashboard. Let's do something like this. How about that? This should look a bit good. And yeah, I could just break a line here. Okay, this is looking really nice. The stream is looking really nice. So we are making a dashboard. Hey, hello, Notchafin. Welcome to the live stream. Sorry if I wasn't checking the chat. Also, please stop spamming the chat. I would like really appreciate it if you don't spam it with Pog. I mean, I really appreciate all the support, but please don't spam the chat. So we got this, and now I need to actually get a card over here so that I can basically like put it like this. So I could make a card and put this as the what do you call it? Div.container. I put it in the container over here. This would be just like a normal card, and I could break a line, go to the index, and go to the dashboard and copy the stuff here. I just paste it so that it looks good. Okay, so this is doing really nice, and now I would do something like some stuff like I want it to be able to disable the leveling. So you see, when I made the bot, I have a way of enabling and disabling leveling systems through the bot, but I want it to be able to enable or disable the leveling system through the dashboard, because that's why people use dashboards. They want to configure the bot through the dashboard. That's the nice thing that we're going to be doing right now. So we would be clicking something like this. So we have this over here, and then we would make something like h2 leveling, and this is, I'm going to like disable or enable leveling. So let me do something really quickly, and let me make a HR first. Div.leveling. Okay, so I would first make something like this. How about this? So I would just put some ginger over here. We got ginger. And I want it to be in line. Yep, this is working. Instead of like doing dashboard, I could just put it like this. Yep, so if I go to like my dashboard settings first, I go to my other server. Yep, it's showing the same icon over here. That is nice. And okay, this is even better. I could just slide this one over here, and this is the one that we're going to be working with. So we got this over here. Let's go back to the other server. Let's go to this server and have this, and now we have leveling. So we want to enable or disable leveling. For that, we need to make a database query, the server, so the dashboard and guild. So first, let's make an SQL query. So Forgot how you can use SQLite. SQLite 3 select. Forgot how to use SQLite with Python. Actually forgot, to be honest. Like, so first I would just do something like db file. Okay, so whenever like it's the app starts, I'll just make a connection with the file. So con is going to be, so I'm going to import SQLite first. So import SQLite. Let me, the hell? Okay, so import SQLite 3. And con is going to be, let me mark this. Okay, making database connection. So SQLite 3 dot connect. Let's do db.sqlite 3. We do this, and then we have like select. Over here we could just do cursor is going to be con.cursor. I could do cursor.execute, and then let me write some SQL here. Select asterisk from geld config, and then the rows would be, okay, so yep, so we do where guild ID is equals to guild info ID. Now we could just do data is equal to cursor dot fetch 1. Let me print this really quickly. Print data. If I go to the bot dashboard, it can only be using the thread instead. The thread ID, and the thread ID is okay, let me search about that. Wait, in the same thread, oh, okay. So I see you don't make the connection like this. So I'm gonna do something like with SQLite 3.connect as con. Gonna do this. So basically just make a connection on each thread, and now if I run this, it should print the data. Yep, it is printing the data. So I got the guild ID, and so what's the sequence? The sequence is ID, guild ID, leveling, right? Should be like the, yeah. So the ID is first, and this is the leveling. So leveling is this one over here, which means it's enabled. Now if I disable leveling really quickly, if I disable it, disable leveling from here, if I disable it, leveling has been disabled. If I refresh the page, this is showing 0. Yeah, so this is the one. Okay, so now this is what we're going to be doing. Leveling enabled is going to be data 2, which means this is the 0, 1, 2, and yeah, this is basically gonna be, I'm gonna be just doing bool, so converting the number to an integer. I'm just converting the number to a boolean, and then leveling enabled is equals to leveling enabled. Now if it is enabled, I'm gonna do something like this. So let me go to Bootstrap really quickly. We got badges, okay, we got breadcrumbs. Which one's like alerts? Let me disable this real quickly. Yeah, so we have this over here. we need something like collapse drop downs list modules, and we got paginators collapse. Let's do a simple alert, or maybe something like, nah, we don't need any of that. I can just make something like this. We could make something like enabled slash disable. Yeah, we could do something like that. So we could just do enable leveling. What am I even doing? We could have a paragraph, and then if it's enabled, yeah. So I'm gonna do something like enabled if leveling enabled, else disabled. Let's try to display this. So if it's enabled, okay, so this is disabled, should be disabled. Doing fine. I can just take an alert over here and then just display that or inside here. And yeah, let's see what happens. And I can do style width. So I'm gonna do something like 50px. I don't want it to be too long. I want it to be short. 50px is like too small. Maybe like 100px. Yeah, it's enabled or disabled. You could do something like that. So you could do if enable. Yeah, we could do something like this. Leveling enabled. We could do success else danger. So if it is disabled, it's gonna show danger over here. It's gonna show this, okay? Gonna show this, and then if I enable it, enable leveling. So I'm gonna run this, and then I'm gonna enable leveling. Leveling has been enabled. I'm gonna refresh this, and now it says leveling has been enabled. So this is basically how all web dashboards work. Yeah, let me actually do one thing. Check the stream. There's an alert section in Bootstrap. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Matthew Dangerous 3. This is basically what I'm using. So leveling enabled, and now I wanted to enable or disable leveling. So I forgot one thing. Let me access Flask session. No, never mind. Okay, so basically I wanted to enable or disable leveling. I got this. I have this enabled. Now I wanted to show one thing. Okay, this is ugly. Let me remove this part over here. Okay, sorry. Yep, this is enabled, and now I can just enable this or disable this. So what I will be doing is let's make some JavaScript over here. Why not? So let's embed some JavaScript, and let's make this on click. Let's do alert, and let's give it a class leveling alert. How about that? So I want to embed some JavaScript in here to make this awesome. So dot leveling alert cursor into pointer is nice, and so if I go over here, it would basically, so I can click on this, but right now it's not clickable. So I could do something like on click change leveling. Now let's embed some JavaScript in here. So script, and let's do const change leveling, and this is going to be a function, and let's do console.log test to see if the JavaScript works. Okay, I do this. We have the JavaScript here. Let me, why did I do that? I'm gonna put this on the Dr. Write console it's printing test, which means this is working. So I could just make an API request here. So I could just I forgot how to make a post request. I haven't done JavaScript in probably a long time. Yeah, I haven't actually done it in like probably a long time. So let me actually make a new endpoint over here. First, I need to make course, because without course it won't work. So Flask course, because basically when you make a JavaScript API request, a server checks for cross-origin resource sharing and see if course is enabled or not. Let me enable Flask course. So pip3 install Flask course. It should now install Flask course. So let me actually check the docs. I'm actually checking a Stack Overflow thread, and I could do cross origin is going to be content course edit content type, and then I could make this a cross origin. So I can let me make a new endpoint over here at app.route. Let me make 2 spaces. So this is going to be change leveling. Let me make it /API /change leveling at cross origin def change leveling, and if request.method equals post. This is, let's do methods, right? So methods equals to post. So we have a node fetch. Not node fetch. Like, I haven't done JavaScript in a while. When was the last time I did JS? Probably like when I was working on my Discord bot Shikamaru, because my bot's website is actually made with React. So I had to do like a lot of API requests. So this is basically my Discord bot's website. The API isn't working. I guess the API is down. Yeah, the API is down. So if I go to my bot's API, the SSL certificate expired. But yeah, this is my bot's API, and I had to do like a fetch. But now this time I'm gonna do a post request, which is gonna be weird. I haven't done like post requests in a while. So let me enable course first, change leveling, and I'm gonna do something like a Python SQLite 3. I forgot SQLite 3. Python SQLite 3 update entry in DB. Like, I'm the guy who searches Stack Overflow a lot, but I find my solutions really easily. So let me do something like a if token not in session. I just do abort 403, because that's forbidden. They don't have the API request in the token. Let me search something. Do browsers and JS share the same session? Okay, so we have this, and now we could just make a cursor, and then we could just update some database entries. So you can just do cursor.execute So we could do first of all, let's make a query. So we have to like see if it exists or not. So data and leveling enabled is gonna be this. So yeah, let's do something like a cursor.execute update guild config where, oh no, I gotta set first. Set what was it again? Leveling equals to let me do this opposite, right? So basically convert bool to int. Python, I forgot a lot of stuff. So set leveling equals to the opposite of it. So I could do something like leveling enabled, and then I could just do not leveling. So instead of doing something like this, leveling equals to one if 0 else 0. So basically just doing the reverse. So if it's 1, then if it's 0, then I'm setting it to 1, which is enabling it, and then just do blah blah blah, etc, etc. So I got this, I updated it, where guild ID, I forgot a really crucial part, was it to just update for all entries, and then cursor dot commit. Is that how you commit? Oh, that's connection dot commit. A con dot commit. I did an oopsie over there. And then if it's, yeah, so now I'm going to just return JSONify leveling. Let me just return a status. Status is going to be 200. Leveling is going to be not cool. So basically I'm doing the opposite. So if it was enabled, it would show true. So the cursor just like, so the SQL just disable it. That means it's the opposite. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So basically just doing the opposite. So before the request it was enabled, but after the request it was disabled. So I'm just returning the opposite response so that I can simulate what happened after the request. Bitrate is low. YouTube is giving a weird audio bitrate. Let me do something real quickly. Hope YouTube is gonna go down. Okay, sorry. So yeah, I can now just write a JavaScript here. Do something like make a post request JS. Post request is gonna be get URL, and then yeah, I can just do const http is equal to new xml http request. Basically make a new object, and const URL is going to be http / API / change leveling. This is going to be the same, and then http.open post URL, and then http. I would just do something like http.send, and then http.on ready state change. I want to run a function. I want to run a function over here. Function. And then just run this. So basically like just do something like this, or I could just do something like, yeah, this is not like the proper way of writing a function. I could just do E, which is basically the payload, and then just write a function over here. So I'll just do console.log E dot, or just do http dot response state response text. I'll just print this, and let me see what happens over here. I forgot that I turned that off. Okay, http is not defined. Oh, okay, never mind. Refresh. This is giving me this over here. Guild info is not defined. What? Where did I make a request over here? Okay, so I made a request over here, and it says that guild info, guild ID is not defined. I mean, oh, okay, I'm dumb. I'm really dumb. It should include the payload. XML HTTP request JS. Why did I open up a new tab? XML HTTP request JS, and then I could just do Ajax XML HTTP request object. Let's just make a post request. How do I make a post request? You have a get over here, and then you have a, so you got like some stuff over here in the, okay, so I could just put some request.form.get guild ID, request.form.get just get the guild ID. So for the guild ID, I would do something like yeah, for the guild ID I would just do guild ID like this, and then I could just like access the guild ID from the form. So yeah, and now I could go to this over here, dot send guild ID equals to, and this is going to be guild ID. Yeah, now where is the guild ID? It's actually not defined, so I'm going to do JS access path, this URL path of location name. So I need to like get the path info over here. Now this would basically contain the ID. So basically this is the path, and to access the path from JavaScript I need to access this part, because since it's Jinja 2 it doesn't actually have a lot of info over here. So I could just do something like I just probably get a full path is going to be just window.location.path name. Do something like this. Console.log. Let me print this over here whenever it loads. So it's showing this. So we'll just do remove string from string.js. I forgot how to remove string and stuff. So for this I'm gonna do string.replace. Okay, so guild ID, const guild ID. Const guild ID is going to be dot replace. I'm just going to do like this over here. Yep, and now I could just print this. Let me just add external server error. What did it respond with? Oh my god, SQLite again. Not doing well. So this is showing app.py where did I mess this up? No such column, none. It's saying none. But why? The console.log guild ID. Okay, so let me just console.log it. Console.log guild ID. Undefined. What? This is, oh, okay, never mind. So I'm gonna replace it with this over here. I made an oopsie. So okay, so this is the guild ID, and then now I would just do something like so and request header, I'm gonna do something like a set request header. So http.set request header External server error. Guild info is not defined. Oh yeah, sorry, never mind. Where did I mess this up? Oh, okay, yeah, never mind. I forgot to make a noopsie here. Now let's see what happens. So it's showing me this, but why? Yeah, with syntax error. What? Well, leveling. Oh, I forgot to do set. Okay, never mind. Yeah, this is now saying leveling full, status 200. Now if I do this again, it's now saying leveling true, which means it's being enabled and disabled. So right now it's saying leveling equals to true. So if I do enable show the leveling over here, why am I getting 10,000 DMs? Leveling, saying leveling enabled. Now if I do this, and if I do this, and it's saying leveling is disabled because I'm doing this and that. So now this is where the fun stuff begins. So HTTP would be HTTP new XML. Okay, so I have HTTP dot response text, convert text to JSON JS. I forgot something like this. So JSON.parse. The rest will be JSON.parse. I gotta parse the JSON. I'm gonna do something like a JSON.parse. And now this is where the fun stuff begins. If resp becomes if resp dot leveling, then I would just do something like a so I could just change the class name if it's leveling, so I could just do document dot get element by class name. This is gonna be leveling alert dot class name would be the same but would be different. So this is now going to, if the leveling is enabled, I'm going to do success leveling alert. Else I will do this. Then I would change it to danger. Now I got this. Right now this is disabled. If I click this, it's expected end of data console.log. Wait, XML HTTP request JSON response. Okay, so I would just do something like a response JSON or something like response text. So we got response JSON. I'll do something like this. The JSON should be okay. Why is it showing this error? Should be actually showing this. Have expected end of data at line. Interesting. Line 63. JSON HTTP request. Is this the same thing? Uh, hmm. HTTP dot response. Once, and then okay, so I'm having trouble with like passing the JSON data over here, and then this is going to be okay, console.log disabled, and then I'm gonna do this console log enabled. I'm just testing out some JS stuff. Like Kubuntu. Well, I like KDE Plasma a lot. Okay, it's just something that I like, so that's the reason I use it. Okay, so rest.leveling. Let me do can send post request JS fetch. This is good. Dot then and dot then. So instead of doing something like this, I could just do instead of making an HTTP request like this. This is like getting out of hand. XML HTTP request doesn't have like a lot of features, so I'll just do fetch, and then I could just do a URL over here, URL, and then the method will be post, and then I'm gonna do something like get some headers over here really quickly. Why Kubuntu? I like KDE a lot. I used Ubuntu. I just installed Kubuntu like yesterday. So that's basically what I did. So yeah, and content type is going to be. I forgot how to do the content type. XML HTTP request in JS. Forgot how you're supposed to do it. File on a server, you change this to application, access form encoded. Content type will be this. And then, once I get this, I would do something like yep, and then dot then. Then I would do fetch API. Forgot how to do the JavaScript fetch. I'm like a noob with JS. I apologize for that. Dot then I have functions, so we have something like this. Fetch dot then. We got function data. Then I could do instead of doing data, I can do resp, and then data equal to resp.json. So const data is going to resp.json. Then I'm gonna do console.log data.leveling. See what happens. I'm gonna just comment this. JavaScript's like really messy. To me, JavaScript is like cancer, to be honest. Undefined. Where did I make it wrong? Leveling is true. Just return. Interesting. Return JSON. I could make something like a JSONify. Oh, okay, I messed up the JSON. Sorry about that. So leveling. is status is going to be 200. Leveling going to be this. I want to see what it turns with. Internal server error. SQLite operation error. What the hell is wrong with this? No such. I thought I fixed it. Give me a moment. Oh, I'm dumb. Fetch post. And body is going to be these like a form body is okay. I see what I should do. I should do guild ID equals to this, this, should do something like this, and then this, and should print out level. I'm gonna do console.log data. So it's still in promise. See, still in promise, and then I would just do so instead of making it async, I could just do something like this. Fetch API dot then, and then this response would return a response. I would do response dot JSON. Then I could just do something like a dot then resp, and I'm gonna just do a I got the response. I'm gonna just run a function on this, see what's going on, because this is in a promise state. JavaScript promises are like really annoying when you're working with response dot. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Typo there. Data is not defined. Ah, yes. Now this is doing well. Yeah, now I could just do this thing. I hope OBS is doing well. So if the leveling is working, I'm gonna copy this. And I'm gonna do this over here. If on.stop leveling. The response.leveling, it should say enabled. And yeah, it should say enabled. Leveling alert, and then I could change the class name. Instead of saying a class name over here, I could just do something like a refresh the page. Yeah, I could just do document dot status 200. I could just refresh the page. So I'm gonna do location dot reload else console dot log something went wrong. Let me refresh this. So it did the API request and now it shows disabled. You see, this is like really awesome now. So I think we have done something here which is working. So this is disabled right now. It shows disabled. Now if I go to Discord and if I run leveling, it says leveling is disabled. Okay, if I click this and enable it, run the same command again, it's showing leveling is enabled. So this is, guys, how you make a Discord bot dashboard now. Yeah, I know some of you guys are saying like there are a lot of bugs and things, but this stream wasn't for like making a complete dashboard. Okay, that would like take days to make, like test out everything, like fix bugs and stuff, make it secure, also like add more authorization stuff for the dashboard, etc, etc. But like I'm not, this is just a stream, so I'm not going to do all of that. Let me log out and now let's show you how this works step by step. So we log in with Discord auth 2. I'll let it authorize, and then it shows me my guilds. I select my good looking server. It shows me the guild config. Right now it's enabled. I run this. It shows enabled. Leveling is enabled. Okay. I click this. It changes the setting. If I run leveling now, it shows leveling is disabled. So let me disable leveling really quickly. So right now it's showing this leveling is disabled. Let me enable it. Enable leveling. Okay, this is now enabled. I'm getting so many DMs. Let me refresh this, and now it's showing leveling is enabled. Let me disable it again. How do you disable it? I forgot the command was for disabling it. Okay, disable leveling. It has been disabled. I refresh, and you see this is now showing that the leveling has been disabled. So this is, guys, how you make a really simple Discord bot dashboard. I know this isn't a really practical dashboard because like most dashboard would include more stuff than just leveling. This was like just showing you how other bot developers make their own dashboards. They just basically use the same database. Okay, so they have the bot which is accessing a database, then they have a website, the dashboard accessing another database, and then just change the config to the website. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this stream, and if you like my content, make sure to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out a lot to make more amazing content. And I'm sorry if this stream was like a bit bad. It was my internet. Like I have real trash internet. So anyways, guys, have a nice day. And also I'll link the code in GitHub like 10 minutes after the stream ends. So anyways, have a nice day. I'm gonna catch